to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob.
Welcome, fellow goofballs, to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. I am Drew, joined as always by...
I'm me, Rob, and the dog.
And the dog. I didn't know we were having a guest host today.
Guest host, here he is.
Oh, yes. So, we have a little ticker tape background here for those of you watching on video, because guess what, guys?
It's like Christmas came early, just like
Giants. Me. The Giants won a game. The Giants won a game. It's almost like
we're going to the Super Bowl.
Almost the two of us know what we're talking about. We called it.
Yeah.
Feels weird. Like, I don't know. How do we do a post-game win episode again?
Holy fucking shit, we did it.
Haven't done one in so long. I don't remember how to do it. I don't.
It's been like 5 weeks.
So it's like, should we be like unupset now? Like,
I mean, we could still be upset.
Yeah.
I mean, this game could have been 21-0, but instead it was 14-7. But
much worse.
It could have been much worse.
Yeah, it could have been much worse. Sure. We could have lost as well at the last minute. So I mean, it's just nice to have a win for once. It's nice to have a win. So let's talk about the game here overall. Let's go over first the defense, because nobody wants to talk about the offense because there's going to be a controversy coming up. I have a feeling that it's next week here. But let's talk about the defense, because holy shnikey, talk about dominant the first half. I think the Commanders had 47 yards the first half overall,
give or take.
I mean,
46 maybe.
Absolutely ridiculous, guys. Absolutely ridiculous. That's like elite, like amazing, one of the best ever kind of performances a defense could ever possibly have. It's that good. I can't even put into words how good that is.
Yeah, they
didn't really continue.
No, but you know what they did do is the second half. NFL. They made an NFL record. I don't know if you realize this. That Sam Howell owns an NFL record after this game as being the most sacked quarterback in NFL history through the first 7 games of his career.
Yeah.
Derek Carr had that record, 4 sacks per game. And Sam Howell had how many?
Well, no, what they said was Sam Howell tied the record for most games to start a season being sacked at least 4 times. That's what they said during the telecast there. And
then he beat it, getting sacked after that.
Was he sacked 5 times each game? Because they were talking each game.
Oh, okay. Well, he was sacked for the 5th time tonight.
At least 4 times each game. I'd have to look at the Commanders' games to know if he was sacked 5 times each game or not. But either way, defense just absolutely dominant. I mean, if you want to really be honest about the 7 points even they gave up, the 7 points that we gave up was not because of the defense. It was because they were put in a really bad situation, short yardage, because Sterling Shepard dropped a punt. Almost had thoughts of the Seahawks from last year all over going through our heads again. But otherwise, they did what they had to do. I mean, they had 5 sacks, I believe, on the game in total. You got 2 sacks by Dexter Lawrence, half a sack by Micah McFadden, another 1.5 by Kayvon Thibodeau, and 1 by Leo himself, Leonard Williams there. The defensive tackles, we talked about this going into the game. They had to start earning their paychecks. And what I mean by that is, like, if you look at a guy like Sexy Dexy, for example, he's that player that doesn't show up on stats, but he just plays solid. He grades out well when watching the film and that kind of stuff. I needed him to show up this week on the stat line, and he did. 6 tackles overall, 2 sacks, 1 tackle for loss, 4 QB hits. That's a hell of a game, guys. One hell of a game. That's a leadership game. You know, Kayvon, we said in the pregame, we expected to see him all over the place. 1.5 sacks, a tackle for loss, 2 QB hits on the night. That's good. That's a really good game. So, you know, defense did what they had to do the whole entire time there. You know, they had the the first pick of the career, of course, for our young stud rookie corner there himself, who, let's be honest, is playing lights out, and a guy that I think a lot of us were kind of like, he's the right pick because of the position, but is he the right pick at that position? Because I know me and Rob said it. Deonte Banks has been lights out, guys. Absolutely lights out.
Yeah.
If I'm on the coaching staff in Maryland, I'm embarrassed about what I did with this talent, because he obviously had the talent the whole time. It's not like all of a sudden he got better at football. He got better coached at football.
Correct.
So kudos to the Giants coaching staff.
And we talked about, like, when he got drafted, like, was he the right pick then and there? And Wink likes the talent. He likes the athleticism. And he's been putting together in the NFL, looking like a pretty solid choice.
Yeah. And I got to say, I didn't think he was going to get the interception. I thought it was going to be a catch, and Sam Howell made the mistake of floating the ball instead of throwing the ball. And as soon as that happened, he was able to run back and catch it. Impressive catch, impressive, move overall to get that. And very important play of the game, because there was a lot of big plays that we did do the right thing during. That was one of the big plays we did do the right thing. So, kudos to Deonte Banks again on a great start to a career. Hope everything keeps up for him, because he's been one of the few bright spots this season so far, to see the way he's progressing, to see the way he's playing overall. As we talk about interceptions, though, I think we'd be remiss not to mention Kayvon Thibodeau and what happened there to him. Because Kayvon Butterfingers Thibodeau literally had a chance for a pick six that just went right through his fingers. Absolutely right. There's no other better way of saying it. It went right through his fingers, folks. That would have been 7 points right there. That would have ended the game right then and there, especially the way the Commanders were playing. But again, he's not paid to catch the ball, folks. He's paid to get the quarterback. So you hate to say it, and if we lost, obviously me and Robert probably have a different idea on that play. But in the end, we won. So I'm not going to chastise him for missing what was an obvious easy catch that even, Kenny Galladay could have made.
I mean,
oh yeah.
When was the last time Kenny Galladay had a catch like that?
Probably in practice. Is he in the practice squad for the Jets now?
That's a good question.
I thought I had read that. We'll have to look it up. But yeah, like I said, great all around day. I mean, did we give up some yardage in this game in the second half? Yes. That's the one thing you could sit there and say, but in the end, this is a dominant defensive game for us. And the offense did just quite enough to get by and not mess it up for us, basically.
Yeah. I mean, Darren Waller showed up as well, which is nice. Our unicorn came out of the woodwork.
The woodwork? What kind of woodwork? Was he in a cabinet or something?
He might have been in a cabinet. He could have been in the cupboard.
Is that and that's one thing I think. And again, we're talking about the defense, but we're kind of moving over to offense here. So that's one thing as we get into the big controversy that is coming right now, especially between me and you, because me and you don't always see eye to eye in this kind of stuff here. But this was Darren Waller's biggest game as a Giant.
Yeah.
And he did it with Tyrod, not with DJ. He had a touchdown. He's had 100 and I'm trying to do the math real quick on this, 141 yards in the last 2 weeks with DJ being out. Prior to that, he had 127 yards on the season, the first 3 games. So last 3 games, I should say, prior to that. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I know what you're trying to get at. I know that's what a lot of people are going to be talking about. Like, is there a QB controversy going on in the New York area? Yes. Aaron Rodgers is still hurt. He's not playing for the New York Jets. Is there something going on in MetLife for the Giants? No, I wouldn't go that far yet.
No. The Giants have no controversy. The fans will have the controversy.
Yes, correct. I mean, Taylor did have almost 280 yards on the day. He had 279, I think it was 278. 2 touchdowns.
200 yards in the first half.
Yeah, so they played well throwing the ball around. But there's different sample sizes that we got going on between these two different quarterbacks. So
I agree. We should equal out the sample size and see what happens. I agree. Thank you.
You're right. Listen, I'm not disagreeing with that. But you got a healthy Barkley that's playing pretty good. That makes teams respect the quarterback throwing the ball because they have to respect the actual running back instead of just pressuring the quarterback the whole time. Because let's be honest, DJ got a lot of pressure as soon as Barkley went down. Do you think Matt Breida or Brightwell is going to carry the same amount of water, same amount of football, I guess, if you will, from the backfield as Barkley? No. So they don't respect.
But Barkley's averaging 3.8 yards per carry.
It doesn't matter. You still have to respect him being in there. You still have to respect him being in there. So
you're right on that part. You have to respect him.
The quarterback. That's what I'm trying to say. So it allows the quarterback that's been playing the past 2 weeks more time with the ball, better decision making.
But also the ability to read the defenses at the line is what's going to go ahead and. Yeah.
You're not wrong. I mean, there's definitely that's part of the discussion as well. But
and that's where the big difference is for me is the numbers showed last week, and we'll see when they come out by PFF because PFF has its pros and cons. One of the things that the PFF does pretty well is in this kind of scenario, looking at what they do under pressure versus under typical, typical type of pressure at that point. And Tyrod Taylor was amazing compared to DJ last week in that same exact type of scenario. If the numbers match up again this week, listen, when you're going from a what was the grading we set on him? I don't have that in front of me right now, but I can pull it up. What did he have? Like a 20 grade or something like that on that? I mean, DJ's grade on that was really bad. We talked about that during the week.
Yes. Under pressure, I think he was 20.
Here we go.
28?
DJ under pressure. Okay. Let's see here. I got the numbers here we talked about there in the pregame here. So DJ under pressure was a 40.6 PFF grade. Tyrod under pressure, 72.8. That's a massive difference. That's an amazing difference for you to consider the fact that the defense, you can make the offensive line, you can make the case that offensive line has gotten weaker since DJ went down. You can make that case. Azudu's out. Justin Pugh is playing left tackle when he's supposed to be playing guard. He's been the team 2 weeks. And I know everybody loves to say great job by Justin Pugh. Great job by Justin Pugh. Don't get me wrong. Listen, it's admirable to be coming off an injury, going into a locker room and playing for a team that you don't know the offensive playbook. Let's be very frank. He probably does not know half of what he's doing. He's probably being told in the huddle, you block that guy. That's probably what's going on. And it's admirable the job he's doing considering that scenario. But you can't sit there and tell me he didn't get owned by Chase Young today.
Chase Young actually looked good this game. And Chase Young was their guy that we talked about last year, which we didn't see it, coming off his ACL, coming back. We
talked about off his rookie year as well, that he was overrated. But what I'm saying is he owned Pugh today. And I'm not knocking Pugh for it. Again, Pugh's put in a rough spot. He's playing a position he hasn't played in 10 years. He's playing for a team he doesn't know the offense yet. He's playing with next to a guy that he doesn't play next to. He's in every single bad possible scenario that you could have as an offensive lineman, basically.
Yeah, that's the first thing.
So I mean, the big question though is, you can easily say that the offensive line is not as good now as it was when Daniel Jones was there. I mean, look at even right tackle now. You got Evan Neal out today, and you got Tyree Phillips, who just 3 days ago was at the practice squad for the Eagles. That's not good. So you got a guy off the couch and a guy off the Eagles practice squad playing your tackles. I love everybody sitting there saying oh, Tyrod had all the time in the world at times. The line looks so much better. And I don't think that's the case. And don't get me wrong, I'm going to look back at this game, and I will rewatch this game, and I'm going to look specifically what Tyrod does at the line. And I want to see that. But I can pretty much guarantee you that what I'm going to see is Tyrod making moves, calling things out, and changing things up, and making the protection changes at the line that he needs to. And he does that because he's been in the league long enough to see it. It's not that he's better gifted than DJ is. DJ is the better physically gifted player. Tyrod can read a defense much better.
Like I said, he's been in the league so long. He's what, 34? He's 2 years younger than his offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Than his coach. So, yeah. Kudos to Taylor for being in the league this long.
Yeah. Oh, listen, a lot of guys play maybe with the average 3 years. He's made it for 12 now, probably.
Probably longer than that, but yeah, something in that ballpark.
Like I said, to me, it's just I see in the last 2 weeks, I've seen this offense move much better. Have we put up a ton of points? No. And I've heard some guys flipping out. Oh, everybody's talking about how good Tyrod Taylor is. He scored 14 points. No one's saying Tyrod's good, guys. Let me be very clear on that. No one is saying Tyrod is good. No one is saying Tyrod is the answer. No one is suggesting that we build around Tyrod Taylor. What people are questioning is who is the better option at quarterback for the rest of the season. And it's a valid question. Regardless of what side you're on, it's a valid question after what's going on the last 2 weeks here.
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah, and I know you hate to say that because I know you're the DJ, the guy, the two of us, obviously. So you hate to say it, but it's like I said, I'm not sitting there saying either side is ridiculous because let's be very frank. You want DJ to win. You want DJ to improve. You want DJ to be the answer long term for the Giants. And what I mean is I mean all of you listening and myself included, all of us Giant fans, because we just signed this guy. We just signed this guy to a massive contract. Yeah. That's what it is. Like, we don't want him to be the guy sitting on the bench for the next year or two before we can cut him. He's basically our Russell Wilson right now. Huge contract. We can't get rid of him. We're going to have to pay him to be an expensive backup next year, probably.
I mean, Russell didn't have a bad day either, I don't think.
Well, Russell Wilson's going to be gone. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, hands down. Just saying, I don't think he had a bad day. I'm pretty sure he had a touchdown.
I'd have to look it up, to be honest, because I watched the Giants game, and it's the downfall of us not having the primetime game for once. I haven't been able to watch the rest of the games. I've been so focused on the Giants there. I know some of the fun surprises we've had here, but otherwise, I don't know. So, but like I said, I think we could sit there and say that both quarterbacks are not a long-term answer. Now, the question just comes into be is, are you of the school of thought that Tyrod has played better and we should just ride him out the rest of the season? Or at least until he proves he doesn't deserve the rest of the season if he starts playing poorly? Or do we sit there and say that, he's just not going to be the answer, so let's start Jones and see if he gets better? Either one's a valid train of thought. It really is.
Yeah. You kind of have to go with Jones in this. It
depends on what's more important to you, the future or the present. Jones is the better option for the present because if he continues to suck, then what you get is you get the option to get a better draft pick next year because the team's not going to win. The way he's playing, the team's not going to win. Even when we play against the really shitty teams, we're not going to win. If you go with Tyrod, we're going to win more games probably based on how they played so far this season. But we're still not going to go to the playoffs or anything crazy.
But why? Because they won one games with Tyrod as a starter.
No, I'm saying because the offense has looked much better the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it's also a much different offense since week one. This has been a way different offense altogether. That's what I've been trying to say. It's like when we talk about like a QB controversy, like, was it the same line week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6, week 7? No, it's all been different. It was It changed the starters from week 6 to week 7. So it's all different.
Yeah.
You got Barkley coming in
But
different.
the
Like,
defense, but the offensive line has been worse, dude. It's gotten worse.
You could say that, but then you say that they look better.
This is true.
But then you say they look better. So
no. What I'm saying is they look better, and I believe that's because they had a leader under the center who's able to see things at the line and make adjustments.
Yeah.
You can't possibly think that Tyree Phillips coming off of the practice squad at the Eagles, luckily at least knows the offense, so he's not as bad a position as Pugh, and playing right tackle for us is a better scenario than playing Evan Neal. We saw what happened last year. It was a 5-game difference. We saw it. You know, I mean, you think that Ben Bredesen playing from guard to center is a better move? You think Mark Lewinsky no longer being benched is a good idea? You think, you know, having Marcus McKeithen, who's playing at the left side, has never played at the left side, is a good idea? You think Pugh, who should be a guard, is playing tackle? There's not a single position on that line today that you can say is better than it was when Jones and the rest of the Giants started.
I'm not saying it's better. I'm saying it's different. And to give the same tactics of like, this is how you play under this line and compared to this line, it's different. That's what I'm trying to say.
No, different, yes, but not better. And that's the whole key is what I'm saying.
But
is that
it's also not worse.
I think it is. From a talent level standpoint, it is definitely 100% worse.
That part doesn't matter. Are they playing better? They are.
But they're playing better, in my opinion, at least. Again, I have to rewatch the tape. I want to see if that's what was going on. But
that's
Tyrod Taylor sees things at the line that DJ does not. How many times we see a block, you know, totally get missed and a guy go free range right over into Daniel Jones's back because Daniel Jones didn't see it coming? You haven't seen that once with Tyrod the last 2 weeks.
You're not wrong. But also, like, how many times have you seen just the defensive line just break through that offensive line and just run right past the defender? You really haven't seen that.
You saw it this week. You saw it this week like crazy. You saw it this week like crazy.
All right. 2 weeks ago, and Evan Neal just got bypassed, and Jones like almost died.
Again, Jones should have picked that up as well, though.
He literally had, I think it was 0.7 seconds to pick that up. You're right. He should have picked that up.
You don't think he should have saw the line, knew the blocking scheme, and pointed out at the line?
Or, you know, Evan Neal just let someone run right by him.
But that's not what I'm saying. It's on both of them at that point. That's how quarterbacking works. You look at the line, you see what you say, and you're going to call out what you see. The center does it. The quarterback does it.
You're right. But also, you have a missed block.
You can also make the case that Bredesen being instead of JMS is part of the issue with the line right now, too, because of that.
You could say that.
I did. It's time. I've seen enough. It is time. To me, Tyrod's got to start the rest of the year, man. And what we really need to start doing is I need to see more and more of those beautiful bombs down the field to Jalen Hyatt.
Yes.
That's what I need to see. There's one thing we can agree on. We need more Jalen Hyatt in our life, okay?
I missed his missed touchdown. I was driving down to see some family. I had some family events, which is part of the reason why we're on so late, guys. So I apologize about that. But I was driving down, and I would listen to the play. And then Michael had to tell me, like, how, I guess, Hyatt was underneath, but he had his right arm. Actually, it would be this way.
He was this close to a one-handed grab for a touchdown. He really was this close. Like, we're talking one more finger on that ball, and it's probably 6 points right there.
How many fingers did he have on the ball?
I like 2.
Or in the ball.
Whoa. Oh, my. But, I mean, he had that. He had, you know, there's a couple. But when you throw a bomb down the field to him, it's not a guaranteed catch every time, guys. I'm not suggesting that whatsoever. But don't tell me it helped rechange momentum when he got that 40-some-odd yard bomb towards the end of the fourth quarter that we thought was going to maybe come back because it was that close to coming back. It was that close of a play.
Oh, yes. When his third step went out of balance.
Yes. But
they
that's
had to
listen.
review the
His
play.
third
and
step
it's-
didn't go out of bounds, anyways. Heel hit the ground first. You can see it clearly if you watched it.
It didn't matter either way because that right foot slid, which was his first contact, and then his left foot just came down. So it doesn't matter when in and out.
But I'm saying his heel hit the ground first before his toe ever did. He was in either way, as far as I'm concerned. But what I'm saying is those are momentum changers. Those are big plays. That's what we need to do.
Oh yeah.
So
That's what we did.
all right, let's get to some of the comments here real quick. Let's see here. Dennis says Giants win the Super Bowl. Yes, they did 4 times.
They're going.
Won't be this year. Won't be this year. He also says great game plan by Dable to make the Commanders think they were back in the game. I don't think that was.
I love your troll, Dennis.
He says nice by Gray to make Washington think he was going to fumble again. Yeah, and Eric Grayson we got to talk about in this whole thing because
Travis Kelce touchdown. Sorry.
Okay, I'm sure Taylor Swift is happy anyway.
Oh, they're showing her shaking it off.
I'm sure she is.
Actually, no, it's actually Travis Kelce shaking it off right now. 50th career touchdown for him.
There you go. But we got to talk about Eric Gray though, because I'm the more and more this season progresses, the more and more perturbed I am. I guess is the best way. That he even made it on the damn roster.
I mean, it was kind of hard for him not to make it on this roster.
No,
like, where he was.
Okay, 6 carries for 13 yards in the season. That's where he's at. He has done jack and shit so far in the punt return game, and that's why he made it. He's got 1 catch for 1 yard in the receiving game. He's a waste of a roster spot. I'm sorry, guys. Absolute waste. He should have been put on the practice squad, and if someone took him, guys. This is not a guy that I'm that worried about missing out on. And granted, I wasn't a big fan of the pick to begin with, so I'll admit that freely. I had that bias. But to me, we should have kept a guy like Jamison Crowder for return ability only, if need be. And how much better off we'd have been this season with a guy who can legit return the ball. Look how good Jamison Crowder looked today. He looked good as a punt returner. Be nice to have guys, wouldn't it? If only we had the chance to have Jamison Crowder on our team. Oh, wait, we did. We did.
Wop, wop, wop.
Yeah. So, our longest punt return today was 5 yards. We had 3 punts altogether for 10 yards. I should have 4 punts altogether. We returned for 10 yards. That's sad.
Yeah.
So our longest was 5. The other 3 combined for 5 yards, guys. Jamison Crowder returned 6 punts for 33 yards and had a 17-yard return in that. Like I said, it's just they make some moves that I definitely was like, yeah. I said this is one of those moves I just didn't understand from the get-go. All right. See, John says push to 5 p.m. Did he meet 5 a.m.? Where them goofy bastards at? Well, goofy ass Dennis is here. It's like 5:10 we started. Stop. John says, in the words of Samuel L. Jackson, TikTok motherfuckers. Dakota says, wow. I'm guessing because we actually won.
Probably.
Deb says, it got ugly, but I'll take it. Hells yeah, I'll take it. Listen, a win is a win. At the end of the year, we're not going to be like, well, we shouldn't have won that game. We should have won that game. We won that game. It should have been much further away than it was. It should have been a close game. So, ugly win because of the way it went down in the end, but I'll take it. A win is a win is a win, guys. And I will always take a win. Dakota says stat of the day. Soul Brother number 1. What's up, man? It says, happy Victory Sunday, guys. It's about time. It really is.
We did it.
It's since Arizona, man. We're talking. It's been way too long now. It's been, but finally we're there. Valves BTW. Hey, what's up? What's up, Valves? That's Riccone, by the way. I don't know if that's the pronounced way to pronounce that name. John says, how you do it. First, you pull it out, then a little warm up before play. What are you talking about, John? He's giving like sex advice here in the comment section. Dennis says, great game by Pugh. Gave up only 2 sacks, same as last week. See, that's a steady force on the line. A steady force on the line. Deb says Waller also had 2-3 drops when DJ threw to him. Really not taking sides, just an observation. And yeah, no, it's a very valid observation. Very valid. The one thing I will say on this, and again, the drops are on Waller. If it's hit, I'm always that guy. If it hits your hands, you were supposed to catch it. But
Yeah,
I remember the catches, and I remember the catches, the lack of catches, I should say. And those passes weren't exactly great passes necessarily. He should have caught them, yes, because he hit his hands. But I do think that the ball's been much more thrown dead on to him so far the last 2 games with Tyrod than it was with DJ. Obviously, part of the thing is the stress of him being constantly under attack and everything like that. But again, Tyrod's not playing with a great line either. John says, would have been great if Thibodeau would have run it back like TD did back in the day. Yeah, that was 100%. Could have been that kind of play. Dennis says, and how's out Walla Hala?
Walla
Walla Hala? That one. I don't know. I'm confused. John says, finally use Hyatt. Hope you get TD today too. Sadly, we only scored 2 yards, 2 TDs. I think he meant. That's not good enough. At least you won. 100%, guys. It ain't good enough.
Yeah.
And I think
should have been 21-0, not 14-7.
Well, no, I think what really gets me going though is the first half we had 14 points. Okay. Again, you play that over the game, 28 points. Not bad. 28 points is a good showing. The problem was the second half we couldn't do a damn thing. Once that
well, it's not even the second half. You're talking about the first score should have been the first drive of the game should have been a touchdown. It was a drop pass by Hyatt, and then that speedy ass win that was going left to right in the field. He missed his scare. Like I'm not going to blame him. He's been rock solid through his whole career. It was a windy day. He missed a kick, right? But
I'm going to say that as much as I just said, if it hits your hands, it should have been a catch. I'm not putting that lack of a catch on Hyatt, because the fact that he even went near his hands was an amazing job by him to get that close. That was thrown in a very, very tight window, trying to get a score. And
I'm not blaming him for that. From the replay I saw and what they kind of showed, it looked like there was a little bit of interference on it. But we won the game. I'm not gonna sit there and harp on.
I don't know if I call it interference, but I would say it was tight coverage. Definitely tight coverage. Yeah. John says, I like Tyrod. He made up for blunders by winning today. I would say made up for the blunders. You still have to continue that in your thought process of who's the better option. You really do. Deb says, I think we need a franchise QB. Jones and Taylor are not it. And that's the thing I think all Giant fans can agree on. And if they can't, somebody's been drinking the Kool-Aid a little too much on one of those two. Because neither one of them are the long-term answer. They're not.
No.
So John says, Tyrod with first snaps and confidence by coach, etc. He could do good. I'm sure they'll put Jones back in and him again next year. And if they blow it again, then they'll get a QB. Shake my head. I do think that once Jones is healthy, I do think they'll put him right in. I really do.
They will.
But I think he'll be on a tight leash because of what happened with Tyrod. And I don't think Jones will start next year. I really don't. I think either he'll be gone because of a restructure in the contract or a trade, or he'll be the backup. I think it's going to be time for a new quarterback next year. I really do. Let's see. Deb says, this draft is supposed to be great for QBs. Not sure you want to forego picking one. Oh, no. We want to take a quarterback. We definitely, as long as we have the right quarterback to take, I'll put it that way. And I want to.
I was about to say, even if we weren't having this problem with the quarterback scenario, Tyrod's contract is over. You got the veto.
Yep.
Like you would want to pick up a QB in this draft just to cover your, all field play.
You have to.
It's just now the talk is when you draft that QB.
there's two groups of teams in the league. The ones that have a quarterback and the ones that don't have a quarterback. We are definitely in the don't have a quarterback. It's the haves and have-nots, and we're a have-not. We do not have a quarterback. John says, build around Tyrod. I said it, LOL. Jack, no one said it and meant it. How about that? John says, I can't be Frank Drew. I'm John S. Anderson Jr. You be you, John. You be you. He says, okay, enough of being sad or confused. DJ, hit the music. I said, there's a party going on right here, a celebration to last throughout the years. So bring your good times and your laughter too. We're going to celebrate your party with you. Come on now. Which, of course.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Come on. Ba-doo-doo-doo, boop, 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 boop. John says, by the way, I have over a 5-minute delay due to my crap connection. I have the Roberto dilemma. Thanks a lot, Roberto. You're contagious. And then he says, cool shirt, Drew, which, of course, Drew is sporting the two Giant Goofballs shirt here. I'm not going to say that there's not a store coming perhaps soon that'll have the options for purchasing such things, but there may be a store soon. I'm just saying, perhaps, the end of next week, we might have an announcement with that or something. I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe.
Drew with the Star Trek George Takei line. Oh my.
Oh my.
That was actually a Howard Stern thing too. John says Taylor is shaking Kelsey off. Hey Roberto, this is a family show. Please refrain from your lewdness. Just kidding. And John says, who's the pretty doggy you?
That was Adonis.
That's Adonis. He's an Adonis. All right. So, you know what? I have to give some more kudos here to some other people. Because listen, this is a win. Is there things we would have loved to change? Yes, we would have loved the offense to keep up the way they were the first half. We would have loved Sterling Shepard to not fumble that punt return. We would have loved to have Kayvon run that interception back. We would have loved to have Hyatt get that catch. We'd have loved to have Gano not miss that field goal. All those things are true. But we won. Let's focus on that. We won. It's been a while.
Victory.
So let's give out some more kudos here to people that did good. I'm going to give kudos to somebody that I've been giving a lot of kudos to lately. And I've been giving a lot of hate on him prior. Jamie Gillan, the Scottish Hammer. Because, again, he did a very good job today. Two of his punts went within the 20-yard line. He had one he had to literally shift his whole body over to not have it be blocked. Had a free runner going right at him. So, listen, again, I admit if I'm wrong. Jamie Gillan has put in the work. He's fixed himself. He's become a very good punter this year. Hopefully he keeps that up because I've been very impressed by the change I've seen in him lately. So
it's funny you said it too. As I was down at my aunt and uncle's, I literally that one kick he had, that was caught for a fair catch at the 12-yard line at the right corner of the field. I was like, damn, that man's putting some work.
Yeah.
And I had an aunt look at me like, what are you talking about? He's a punter. I was like, yeah, that guy used to blow it past the field goals, kick 70-yard bombs, and he's actually nailing in within that 15, 10-yard line, dropping the starting back in that 12-yard line instead of bringing him out with a, kick, bringing him out to the 25-yard line. So he's really, with that work, cutting the distance in half of where the team would have started.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a lot of shows like us give opinions. A lot of them try to just walk past the fact that they made a opinion that wasn't necessarily the rightest in the long term. Maybe it wasn't that exact moment. We're not that show, guys. I spent a lot of time, specifically me, bashing this man like you would not believe. And he was a shitty punter last year, point blank. He was a very shitty punter. He's done a very improved job this year. He's done very good this year. So, like I said, I gotta give kudos when that happens. I gotta. We also gotta give kudos to Bobby Okereke. Another good game. 11 tackles on the day, 7 of them solo. Had a pass deflected as well. I mean, this is a guy that has stepped up the last couple weeks. And it's funny, you didn't hear his name called a lot. They really didn't. And it's funny because you see him go in there, make the tackle, and they're like, okay, so-and-so runs the ball for 2 yards. They wouldn't mention that Okereke is the one stopping him like crazy left and right. And that's exactly what happened. Okereke had a really good game. And I don't think he got enough credit for it. So the announcers may not call it out. We're calling it out. We're calling it out. Good job. Good job, Okereke. We got to give kudos also. We got to give kudos also to Cordell Flott. Cordell Flott was sitting there guarding Curtis Samuel, who is, been in the league for multiple years now. Been a guy that he's not an A-level receiver. Like, I don't want to make him seem like a bigger deal than what he is. But he's been a guy that's consistently been a good player for years in this league. A 600 to 800 kind of reception yard kind of guy.
Yeah, he's
and
your solid, number 2 star.
Yeah, I mean,
too.
Again, not a great guy, not a great player, but a good player. Again, you had 2019, 627 yards. 2020, 851. Was her for most of 21. That had 656 last year. Again, he's a 600 to 800 kind of guy. He's a legit receiver in this league, but not a star. But he got shut down pretty good. 4 catches, 25 yards, and most of that was in the latter part of the game when a lot of the guys were, giving up yards towards the end of it too. So, like I said, kudos to Cordell Flott, another guy who's shown some improvement in the last couple weeks there, as his defense is all of a sudden just becoming a freaking beast of a defense there.
We needed something to step up, and
oh my gosh, we did.
Defense is looking great.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, guys, good game overall. I thought. Was it a scary game because we should have won by a lot more? Yes. But we have 2 choices as Giant fans, guys. We can focus on what we did wrong. We can focus on how much closer this game was than it should have been. Or we can just revel and enjoy the moment. The Giants finally won a game.
Can we do both?
To a certain degree, we can accept that those things happened. But to me, we got to sit there and say, hey, we won. Wasn't necessarily pretty, but we won. Good teams find a way to win. Bad teams find a way to lose. Hopefully, this is the start of us becoming a good team again.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants of last year found ways to win games.
Yeah.
And so far this year, they barely found the difference between a thumb and their asshole. Like, they just haven't been able to put it together. And they put it together today. And
they did.
They put it together against Arizona. She gave kudos. They actually, we could argue too, they kind of put it together last week. Granted, they didn't win the game, but they looked good against Buffalo. Who also lost today against the Patriots, but let's not get into that part. But it's also a divisional game.
Yeah.
But that's all I got to say about that.
No, I mean, and now, like I said, we're getting into that stretch. It's the easier stretch of the season for us. Now up until week 15, it's a much easier stretch for us the rest of the way, pretty much. So you got the Jets next week, which I know they beat the Eagles. I know their defense is really good, but they have They have Zach Wilson. I can't trust the team being led by Zach Wilson still. I can't. Then we have the Raiders, who lost to the Bears today. That just tells you how good they are. But hey, was I right about Tyson Bagent or what?
Yeah,
I said it. I said it.
Son of a gun.
Then we get the Cowboys, and
beat up Cowboys.
Yeah, but it's a beat up Cowboys team. It's a tough matchup, but they're not as strong as they were week 1 against us. Then we go back to the Commanders. Then we go to the Patriots, the Packers, the Saints. I mean, guys, we have a chance to make a little bit of a run here. And by all accounts, I think Adam Schefter's what I got to report of this first. I want to try to give credit when I read things. Andrew Thomas is coming back next week, guys. I've already said that. Andrew Thomas should be back next week. That changes the line. You put Andrew Thomas at left tackle. You put Pugh at left guard all of a sudden. Now,
Pew,
let's
pew.
say hypothetically JMS is back next week as well. He comes back in. Bredesen goes to right guard. Evan Neal hopefully back right tackle. That's a much better line, guys. That's a much better line. And I'm telling you right now, all week long, the talk is going to be, who's the quarterback? Who's going to be the quarterback? Because if DJ is healthy, there are a lot of people who will tell you they want Tyrod still to play. I'm going to tell you this, same as I said it before. There's pros and cons to both sides.
Yes.
There is. Neither one is the right move to make. And what I mean by that is, again, are you playing for now or are you playing for later? If you're playing for later, you want DJ. If you're playing for now, you want Tyrod. Neither one is wrong. It's just difference of opinion. That's all there is to it, guys. So let's not fight amongst ourselves like we're some kind of like trashy Eagles fans.
Dude.
Because I've already seen it elsewhere. If you mention that you're not on the side of whoever else is talking, I'm seeing guys all the time already now arguing amongst each other. This doesn't need to be an argument, guys. It doesn't. We can sit there and say that we disagree and say, you know what, in the end, we're going to root for whoever the hell is throwing the ball for the Giants. And that's what I can tell you me and Rob are going to do. I don't give a damn who it is playing at that point. Whoever is chucking the ball for the Giants, that's the guy I'm rooting for. That's the guy I want to have a great game. That's the guy I want to throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Hell yeah.
Hell, 5 touchdowns. What the hell? Let's go for it.
Make it 6. Let's go.
6. So here's 7. Do I hear 7? Do I hear 7? Do I hear 7? 7, 8, 8,
Let's
8,
make
8,
it 8.
8,
Let's make it 8.
Nine.
Let's make it NFL
Sold.
record. NFL record.
It's sold to the man in the yellow hat. Curious George, the curious little monkey. Where's he going? We'd all like to know.
He's just so curious.
But like I said, I don't want us to get so wrapped up into that. Because let's be honest, again, either way we do it, neither quarterback's great, guys. It's not like we're sitting there arguing of gold versus lead. We're just arguing over which piece of shit smells better.
My shit smells better than yours.
That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, guys. So enjoy the win. Enjoy the fact that good times are starting to come now for the Giants because we have an easier schedule now the rest of the way. At least until the last 3 weeks, we play the Eagles 2 out of 3 times. And like I said, just enjoy where we're at because 2-5 is a whole lot better than 1-6.
Big difference.
You know what's even better than 2-5? 3-5, guys.
Ooh.
We hit 3-5. Then we beat the Raiders, go to 4-5. All of a sudden, guys, we're an average team in the league.
Or almost to 500.
That's what I'm saying. We're like an average team in the league now at this point. So, like I said, mediocrity is on its way, guys. Mediocrity is on its way. We just gotta stay strong. We gotta get healthy. We gotta figure out how to get the offense scoring points. And then everything will kind of come together the rest of the way. And it's so weird for me to be the optimistic one. It really is. I feel weird saying it. I
so
feel like
weird hearing it.
I'm gonna go take a shower after this now. So, alrighty, guys. We'll be back on for you guys tomorrow night. We're gonna go ahead and do our NFL Week 7 recap for you. Of course,
so far.
Oh yes, it has. Bears alone. Bears winning. Bears won. Patriots
blowout win.
Patriots win. That's another weird one. The Patriots win. Who would have called the Patriots winning?
I could get behind the Patriots winning being more, I guess, realistic, even though I didn't really see it happen, than the Bears winning. Because at least the Patriots won against a divisional rivalry, and that's what they do. Even though Buffalo has had their number, and we're going to talk about this around, but Buffalo had their number for the past 5 years. Buffalo had their number for the past 5 years, but my God, the Bears blew out the Vegas Raiders.
And, who would have called the Colts and the Browns being a throw and bail out kind of game at that point? Like, who would have thought they almost score 80 points between the two,
I was literally like, we were talking on the phone. I was watching the 33-38 down the line. What's going on? And went, I need to go. We need a podcast.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
watch this.
who would have thought the Ravens would just smack the shit out of the Lions? It's a weird week, guys.
Yeah,
it's a weird week.
mean, maybe half of Baltimore thought that, but no real football fan probably thought that because them Lions, they're slayers. They've been killing it.
Yeah. All right, we got a couple more. We got a couple more comments here. We'll go through real quick, and then we'll go ahead and go that there. Let's see. John says, hit your hands. Yes, you should catch it. But when thrown to high and only fingertips barely touch it, can't expect Waller to get those. Can't pull those in. Yes, you can. You jump higher. Calling it out. That's the role. Deb says, Pinnock has been playing very well. He has. And I'm telling you this. I want people to start thinking about this because this is going to be an issue in the offseason. I know it's not Pinnock, so I'm kind of pivoting here a little bit. Are you trying to eat the confetti falling down?
Yes.
Okay, I thought
so. I was mimicking the dog. I'm sorry.
Okay. I thought you were trying to eat the confetti coming out. Literally one coming down right and you were about to eat it. I guess I'm a mess.
It was yellow snow.
Anyway, the confetti is yellow. But anyway, the other thing to think about is McKinney. Would you sit there and say McKinney is playing that much better than Jason Pinnock is? Because McKinney's going to want some money at the offseason, guys.
Yeah, I mean,
I want people to start watching these games and thinking about this because I think what's going to end up happening is this offseason, you're going to hear a lot of fans because McKinney's been a big name and he came with a lot of hype. Then they go, oh, we got to pay this guy. We got to keep this guy. I don't think we do. I really don't think we do.
Unless he starts turning around, it's kind of hard.
I'm just saying he's had some injury issues over his career. He's had some missteps. I mean, he had the 15-yard penalty this week. I mean, I just don't think he puts in that kind of showing to be worth a $10, $15 million contract. I give him, here, I'm going to offer you 3 years, $18 million. Take it or leave it. If you leave it, I'll go get somebody else who did the same exact thing for the same amount of money. Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be a repeat of Julian Love. That's what it's going to be.
Except Julian Love, that's the money he got, basically. I mean, I can look at the contract he got, but that's about what he got. And in fact, they said the Giants offered him more in the midseason. So I just think that, like I said, I think he's not worth that. Let's see here. Trying to look at his. For some reason, it's still giving me the contract. 2 years, $12 million he got with the Seahawks. So about the same.
Yeah.
And they're very similar players. Very similar players. So
yeah.
He's better in coverage than McKinney is. McKinney's better at the line and stopping the run and that kind of stuff. So all right. So Dennis says, did you notice the O-line picking Tyrod after sacks? Yes. It's a very nice gesture. That's the way it's supposed to be done. John says, since we're in cold area, crazy winds, etc. at the end of the year, they should have made it a dome when we made a new stadium.
Yeah.
That would have cost money.
Well, it's not just that. It's they want old school football. And old school football doesn't have a dome.
But it would have
if they
made
built a dome on it, they would have made more money.
It would have made sense for concerts and stuff. You do concerts year round and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I would think so. The retractable stadium roof with grass.
Yeah, I mean, you get the AstroTurf, or not the AstroTurf, but you get the fake grass on it anyway. But
I want grass. Anyway, Dennis says next year should be wide open QB competition. I think so. I do. Whoever plays the best, you're playing. Deb says you're right, John. I will never understood why they didn't put a dome on it. They didn't put a dome on it because it costs money. That's what it is. They're cheap. They built as many seats they can into a bland vanilla stadium with no character whatsoever. That's what they did.
100%.
John says, see, Deb says dome too. It's official.
That's it. The Mayer family's putting a dome on it.
Dome it is. John says Adonis. And then John says, why aren't they using Shep more? Honestly, I think Shep is so low down the totem pole. And they just have him there as like an assistant coach, basically. That's what he is.
Yeah. And I mean, he's kind of an old man these days. Like, let's be real. Like, back in my day when we won the Super Bowl, we haven't seen that in 10 years, buddy.
He's done. Like, let's be honest.
He dropped the ball today for us. Like that's
Yeah,
how.
but he's not a punt returner though. He hasn't done that since college, dude.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a decade since he returned a punt. I'm not upset at him on that.
I'm not mad.
Honestly, I would have put Paris Campbell back there. He's at least done kick returning.
Yeah, no, he definitely would have made more sense.
Yeah,
to be back there.
Let's see. John says Scottish Hammer. So cool to hear Drew support him finally. Listen, I will always support every Giants player, but I will call out bullshit when I see it. His play was bullshit. I had to call it out. John says now I'm 7 minutes 40 seconds behind. We'll see in 8 minutes, John. Deb says this team is rebuilding, and I know people don't want to hear that. Shane and Dable said 2-3 year process. We're only halfway through year 2.
100% right.
Yeah,
Deb.
it is. But I mean, I think part of the issue is that they did so well last year that it created expectations for this year. If they had been like 6-11, 7-10, expectations wouldn't have been there. But when you get in the playoffs, you win a game, and then you sign all these different players.
The problem is still, if we won 6 games last year and you start off the season 1-5, people are still going to be pretty pissed. We had a terrible start, and there's some terrible bad beats that we had. So, yeah, it is a rebuild process, but fans do have the right to be upset of how.
Listen, they always do. We paid the money.
100%.
We paid their contracts. John says, thumb in their asshole, LMFAO, ouch, ouch, get that thumb out of here. Johnny, don't play me. What is he talking about? Did I miss something?
I made the comment, thumb in the asshole. But John will hear that in 8 minutes from now.
John says, I'd wait till after the Jets to bring back our left tackle. No, we need him. We need him. Holy shit, we need him. All right, guys. So, again, we will see you guys again tomorrow night. We go over the recap of Week 7. Like I said, enjoy the victory. Celebrate with cake.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Wahoo!
Celebrate. I'm wearing Giants.
Technically, so am I.
Touche.
Oh, yes. Did you say Bobby Boucher? What?
I said
anyway.
Bobby Boucher over here.
Bobby Boucher. But so
Mama said
again, we'll be here tomorrow to talk about some foosball. Again, we'll go over all the games here for this week. So we'll see you guys again tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. As always, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and of course, Rob's favorite,
Drew's LinkedIn.
My LinkedIn. Oh yes, my LinkedIn profile. And of course, as always, we are always live. I'm sorry, not live, I should say. I keep on saying that. We're always on post the next day on audio podcast platforms everywhere. So if you're somebody who wants to listen on your way into work or anything, we got you covered on that respect there too. Pretty much every single platform known to man, we are on it. So as always, Giant fans, we appreciate you guys listening in. And Rob's already getting ready to say go G-Men. But before he does that, we got to pay the bills.
Enjoying the show? Looking for more goofball action? Consider a membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs. Memberships start at just $5 and give you additional goofball access. One-time support payments also available starting at just $3. Buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.
Adonis is live on the show here, everybody. Let's see, Jeff here. What's up, Jeff? Says foosball is the devil. Yes, it is the devil. Something wrong with his mandula oblongata. And John says Eli Manning, it's time to suit up. Eli could play with this group way better. Listen, Eli, it was a pro playing with shitty lines. It is what it is.
He did it for majority of his career.
The Deb says, thanks, guys. Listen, we appreciate you guys listening in. Thank you to all you guys here. We know you got plenty of options where to get your Giants news from. There's so many content creators out there for the Giants specifically. It's not even funny. So honestly, we really do appreciate that you guys take the time out to listen to what we have to say and talk back and forth with us. It's nice to have that little community feel we have with this show here. So
yeah, we absolutely love it, guys. Thank you so much for your support, because it really helps us come back to the show.
And like I said,
do what we do, what we love doing.
We got some big stuff coming up next week. I think we're going to be announcing that. I'm hoping if I can get my stuff together, I have Thursday booked the entire day out to work on a project for us here. So I think it's going to go well. I think you guys are going to like the outcome of it overall. So we'll see what happens there, but I think you guys will like it. So, all righty, guys. As always, Giant fans, go G-Man! Oh,
G-Man.
G-Man. G-Man. We won. We won.
Thanks for listening to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right? Right? Right?
Thank you to those who have signed up for our silver gold levels of membership at buymeacoffee.com/2giantgoofballs.